Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. This can't be fixed.
What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood.
That's words to live by.
With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson.
No one had anything that was not fundamentally pajamas.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to.
Dinner, do you hear me? And then 20 minutes later, they wander downstairs and like, dinner's like halfway over?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the face of motherhood. This is Margaret.
This is Amy. Today, dun 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 dun, teen and tween crimes.
I actually, you know what? I don't have a tween anymore. I only have teenagers in my house right now.
I only have one teenager left.
But I've very recently had tweens, and I can speak to their crimes. And let me tell you, having just vacationed with a large group of teenagers and tweens, I've got much to say on this topic.
This is good. This is well timed because all of us have just spent more time with our tweens and teens, you know, in the last several weeks
than we might have chosen to
have throughout the rest of the year. So we're ready. We're ready for you today. This was Anna's episode idea. She said, I so enjoyed husband crimes that I'm now pondering tween and teen crimes. She said this in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/WhatFreshHellcast. And, you know, everybody went to town like they always do. We are ready. We're ready with the teen and tween crimes.
Hit me. Give me some good ones. And believe me, I mean, I see you and I raise you is all I can say. That's my spoiler for where I'm coming in. Coming in hot to this episode.
I guess we'll start with Anna's because she made up the game. So Anna says that her teen wears slides and socks everywhere so that all you hear is whap, slap, whap, slap, whap, slap, whap, slap. Slides and socks.
Anna, right now I am making the Hunger Games salute. I am putting my fingers to my mouth and just holding them out to you because this is such a problem. I live in a house that was not constructed particularly well. That's what I'm going to say. You know, there are parts of the house where like the walls don't totally come together. So there's like a little bit of outside coming in, you know, those kind of issues. And one of the huge issues is that the floorboards are just cheap or whatever. And the staircase, we live like Harry Potter underneath the staircase. So 3 kids upstairs, us underneath the staircase in the quote unquote master bedroom. Like in a million years, I would have never planned this. Someday, maybe on the bonus episode, I'll tell the story of trying to move into our house and what a disaster it was and why we ended up in this Faulty Towers kind of residential situation.
It does deserve its own episode at this point because you refer to it and it is a sort of magical conglomeration of rooms.
I mean, I'm touching my house right now. I love you, house. You've kept a roof over my head, but you've got your problems and we both know it.
This isn't house crimes, though. We should do that. We'll get to that.
Exactly. No, but this is a crime that is committed. My sons come down the stairs in a way that like the loudness cannot be explained. It truly, if you were like, is that 2 teenage boys or an entire herd of wildebeests? Like I would be unable to distinguish those noises from each other.
This is a husband crime in my house, but I got my husband, he likes to like wear shoes. We don't wear shoes around the house. We live in New York City, just too much outside grossness, but he likes to have something on his feet. Fine. So I got him like cozy Land's End, you know, lined mocks, but he wears them like mules, like slides.
Ooh, whap, slap, whap,
They're
slap.
so loud. I'm like, just put them all the way on your foot, but he doesn't want to, right? So
What
it's
is
very
it
loud.
with men and flip-flops? I went out yesterday. It's, about 23 degrees in the New York area. And my husband was wearing flip-flops. I was like, what? Like, what is this? What is it? Why do you love flip-flops so much,
I feel
men?
like this came from, how the pants falling down style for young men is said to come from prison style, that you don't have belts in prison, and so that's where the loose pants falling down comes from. I believe slides and socks comes from travel baseball. You can't wear your soccer cleats or your baseball cleats in the house and around. So you have slides on just till you get there. And then you have socks on. Of course, you have your socks on for your game. I believe that it's the young athletes that we can thank for the socks and slides look.
No thanks is what I say to them. No thanks. Although I do sometimes wear it myself. So it's only wrong when other people do it.
Well, that's words to live by.
Anna has a part 2. She says now that she has a tween in her house, everything is a visual. Everything edible is closed, quote unquote, like this. And it shows a bag of maybe hamburger rolls. I thought pita bread, but now I see some sesame seeds. I mean, it's half twisted, and the closure, the little plastic tab that closes it, is kind of just hooked gently on one side.
Exactly. It's as minorly on the bag as is possible. It is on the bag, but
it is serving none of its intended purpose.
No.
It is keeping zero oxygen out of that bag.
Yeah.
It's decorative. It is not, what's the other word?
It's non-load bearing. The spread holder together thing is
Amy,
not
you've done it. It's non-load bearing. You've done it.
I want to go give special shout outs to the teen crimes that were mentioned many times. And I feel like these should be over by now, but they're not yet. And the first one is, some people call it llama hair. Some people call it broccoli hair.
No, I was going to say it's called broccoli
It's called broccoli hair, broccoli head where we live. Yeah. But we have listeners who called it llama hair. And I was like, oh, this is the same thing. It's the young male propensity to have a lot of hair coming off the front of your, almost projected in front of you like a baseball cap.
Like a bird displaying their plumage through their hairdo.
Yeah.
And I have one child with, if you looked up broccoli head in the dictionary, it would be a picture of this kid. And I find he has extremely, extremely curly hair. And I was realizing we were at a mall and stuff over the holidays. And when I would look at him, I kept thinking, oh, there he is. And it's just one of the other 600 curly head kids with broccoli hair. There's just a very specific look. And it's interesting. It's so universal. He has, friends from different ethnic backgrounds. I mistake them for each other all the time. And you would kind of laugh and be like, you should be able to tell these kids apart. But the hair is just such a strong indicator.
Who knew that there was such a human-wide propensity for curly, fluffy hair all up top and then in the front?
It's just also really funny to me sociologically that it really is like young male birds starting to do their plumage dance. They really are like, this is the haircut that's going to get it done. And I am not here to point fingers because believe me, when I was running around dressed in an identical outfit to Madonna Louise Chacon, who was I to judge anyone?
Right. I wore sweatshirts big enough for my whole family to wear at the same time that said Esprit across the front that cost
and
$75.
tight pants. That was the look.
That's it.
Like a sweatshirt for 62 people and then the tightest possible pants you could get on.
The word bra every 5 seconds is another one that I'm going to say that's a teen and tween thing. I don't hear my college kids don't say this, but it is
No, my teenagers, one in particular, only refers to me as bro.
As bro.
Bro. It's bro. And I will say it's my female child. So it makes it even more
interesting.
Confusing. It's only my female child who refers to me as bro. My husband gave to one of the young children in our family a T-shirt. I wish I could quote it, but I don't even know the lingo that much. But it was like, no cap, you're 6'7", Risley. They call it brain rot. Have you heard that term?
Brain rot?
They call that language brain rot language. The 6'7".
The tweens and teens, the youth of today call it that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're like, oh, don't use brain rot.
You're not allowed to say it?
Now, I'm sure that's probably not even right. But from what I hear. But my kids can have an entire conversation at my dinner table in a completely different language.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I cannot understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like, right, sure, mom. Well, That's how it goes when you go through the bridge. And I'm like, what? And then everyone starts laughing and the joke's on me because I'm such a dummy.
But today they're the criminals. They're the criminals.
Yes, we're here to focus on
They're
what they're
guilty.
doing wrong, not what I'm doing wrong.
Let's move on to the category of things that disappear.
Oh, I mean, the rest of the episode is canceled. This is all I can talk about, Amy, because Renee and I are facing the same difficulty. Where is all the silverware?
Yeah.
The spoons, where did they go? And I'm not going to lie, right now, much more concerningly, we're having a knife shortage. It's only butter knives. I don't think they're hoarding them as weapons, but what are you doing with butter knives?
Like bagels and cream cheese? What are they? Peanut butter? What are they doing with the butter knives?
They're not quote unquote allowed to eat outside of the house.
Outside the kitchen, you mean? I hope they can eat outside of the house. That seems extreme.
They are. They're not allowed to eat outside of the kitchen, supposedly.
That would be like Ruby Frankie. Like, my kids are not allowed to eat outside.
Not allowed to eat outside the house. I'm like, listen, we all get frustrated sometimes. I get it. Let's be honest. I'm no detective, but I have a lead suspect in the case. I don't have a lot of evidence. I believe that this weekend, when I do some exploring in this particular offspring's room, I will find a cache of silverware, the likes of which ancient treasure hunters would be jealous.
Like a pawn shop. Yeah. Right. I learned so much about this civilization.
Yeah.
They use the word bra a lot. We think it meant table, and there's lots of silverware everywhere.
Lindsay says she keeps a sacred charger next to her bed. Her teens know that hell will rain if they steal that charger, and yet it goes missing. The charger issue, and let me tell you, you're going to see people on TikTok selling you a thing that's like, this labels every charger in your house, and you'll never be looking for chargers again. Don't fall for it, guys. This can't be fixed. There is no solution to this problem. Teens and tweens are charger monsters, and it cannot be fixed.
My husband, he has completely taken over the outrage for this in our house. When all our kids were back under the roof for the holidays, he wrote on a Post-it note, very sternly worded, "Do not touch wires." He wrote, we have a sort of charging station in our kitchen that contains all the chargers, and that's where all the phones go, and it's always like torn open so everybody can yank everything out, and there's nothing there.
Like a bunch of locusts have come through. Yes.
Yeah, and he's got like a phone, another phone, and an iPad, and a watch, and another watch. Like, he has many, many things that he likes to plug in, and so he was
God bless your husband's faith in humanity, but we've tried every system.
Yeah,
and an angry note that says "do not touch." I mean, they're going to blow through that thing in no time. Love the optimism. And I will say this is reminiscent of something that used to happen in my own house, that my father would walk through the house at least probably once a week and announce, we're having a key amnesty program. If you currently have a car key to one of the vehicles in your pocket or room, and you present that key within the next hour, no questions will be asked about where that key has been.
Love that.
And similarly, I am about to hold a spoon amnesty program. And I think a charger amnesty program that, like, I don't care what came before today. I don't care what's coming after. For the next 1 hour, there is full amnesty for whatever articles you have in your room.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them out and no questions will be asked.
I think that's great. I wish you a lot of luck with that.
It's not a time for bitter recriminations. It's just a time for key amnesty and spoon amnesty.
Teens and tweens love when mom has a cool idea, so I'm sure that will go over great.
I just think the amnesty program is what you kind of need, because it's definitely a cycle of, I'm not supposed to take spoons out of the kitchen. I've now taken spoons out of the kitchen. I now need to wait for my window to return these spoons, where I will not be caught returning said spoons. But now I'm hungry again, and I have all the spoons I already have in my room are dirty. So I'll go get another spoon.
What if you hid the rest of the spoons? I mean, you don't have any spoons, you just said. But what if there's like 2 left? Take those so there's literally no spoons and you know where they are.
Amy, let's tease out this seemingly great idea of yours. 1 second later, I will forget where I've hidden the spoons, and then there will be no spoons. I can't bend anymore. You know, Fiddler on the Roof. I can only bend so far before I break, and I cannot start hiding the silverware from my teenagers. I just can't go there. They're my spoons. They need mine.
Back to the amnesty program then. We'll be back with even more teen and tween crimes. Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH. My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes, at the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today and let us surprise you.
There's another category of listeners telling us things suddenly appear. This is another category of teen and tween crime. Tiffany says that there's a stockpile of popsicle sticks and juice pouch straws in the couch. They just appear. Large amounts.
I mean, yes. I, yesterday, had 2 children who were here after school enjoying themselves. I let them enjoy themselves for quite some time. And then we've been quite delayed because of sickness, putting the Christmas decor away, the ornaments and such. And I said, hey guys, do me a solid. I'm doing all this other stuff to put away decorations. Here's a huge thing of tissue paper. Wrap up the ornaments and put them in this box. The 2 of you, while you're sitting watching a movie. I'm not asking you to stop what you're doing. Just while you're sitting here. An hour later, or like 4 hours later, I went past that room and I found all of the ornaments exactly where I had left them, all of the tissue paper exactly where I had left it, a McDonald's bag, 2 empty McFlurry containers, 2 empty French fry containers, and 2 empty, or maybe 4 empty cups of ranch. And instead of doing what I had asked, they just ordered DoorDash McDonald's French fries.
And made more garbage.
Just made a lot of garbage. And then they were like, we're all done. We haven't done what we were asked. And we've created a huge pile of garbage.
In fact, we've made things worse, but we're full.
But in fairness, Amy, as I already said, I don't allow them to eat outside. So
yeah,
they had to order.
What were they supposed to do?
They had to order McDonald's on DoorDash.
They were supposed to do. Anonymous said that she would like us to picture a photo essay of the perilous tower of empty protein shake containers on her tween's bedside table. I mean, this is it for 2026. The hottest nightclub is protein shakes. That's what it is all about.
Let me tell you. And not going to mention anything, but there's only one brand that is acceptable of said protein shake in my house. They're like $6 a bottle.
Yeah.
And somehow there are 400 bottles of them. Mm-hmm. That's $2,400 worth of protein shake.
It's not
bottles that are just around the house in different places.
Similar to like, I don't think I ever drank a sip of water ever, but certainly not between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Like I didn't, have a drink with me at school. I think I probably ate when I was a teenager about 8 grams of protein a week. I don't know, like some chicken nuggets once in a while, and that was about it. Like I didn't think about my protein intake. Now it's like a major area of concern for your average 13-year-old.
Why are you carrying around 6 gallons of water in a single cup and refilling it like 86 times? You are hydrated.
You already are fully hydrated.
You are fully hydrated.
This is sort of a category adjacent, but I thought this was important to include in the things that suddenly appear. My sister Molly says, my child's most irksome teen crime is making plans that require adult contributions like rides without reading us in on those plans until it's time to go.
Give me your sister's number immediately because I could talk to her about this for 10 hours. I mean, I do shut this down, but my teens are really just getting to the point of being out and about a little bit more by themselves. But we got a call from one child who had gone to, I think, bowling or something. I want to say solidly 35 minutes away from our house, and then called from the location to inform us that they had no way of getting home. And someone would now have to drive, an hour and a half round trip at 11 o'clock. Or I guess pay for an Uber for them to come home. But we did have a pretty strongly worded conversation about how often that would happen again, and that the number of times that would happen again would be 0.
My kid, a teenager, got themselves into a situation visiting a friend who didn't live in New York City for the week. Anyway, you'll just take an Uber home from this. It's about 20 minutes. Well, it's not 20 minutes. It's like 70 minutes. And there's no Ubers because it's in a more rural part of the Northeast, more rural than I'd realized. Anyway, like somebody else's mom that I didn't even know had to drive her like all the way back, way further than it was supposed to be. And I made her write an old-fashioned handwritten thank you note to this stranger, somebody else's mom who had made her, like, surprise, you're driving somebody home 65 minutes each way because she doesn't have a ride.
I know I'm not supposed to be fair to the teens during teen crimes. I do think this is a developing skill. Like they really don't, they're like, bowling? I'm going to jump in your mouth. We once got, the most trouble I ever got in my entire life. My grandmother used to live on the water, on the Long Island Sound. And we would go to her house for the summers. And at one point, my brother and sister and I were on the beach. And friends of ours pulled up in a boat. And we ran in the water and swam out to their boat. And then they took us away. And we were like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And of course, my parents, 20 minutes later, were like, where are our children? And we had it was way before cell phones, no location tracker.
Right.
We just were like, this will be fun. Let's go on a boat. And we were gone for 4 hours. And when that boat came into the harbor, my mother and father were waiting for us with my uncle, my godfather, who was not one to be messed with. And he said, I hope you enjoyed that outing, guys, because that's your last one for a long time. And but the thing is, we did not think that we had done anything wrong. We were like, yo, a boat, let's swim out to it. And I do think that kids are like, yeah, let's go bowling. And then 5 of them get there and they look at each other and say, whose mom's picking us up?
Yeah.
My kid goes, not my mom. That's all I know.
Right. Like that whole, their frontal lobes aren't formed. I'm like, yawn.
You can really see it.
I've heard that hundreds of times, whatever, but it's really true in moments like that.
I mean, you can literally see it. And I definitely remember, because it is crazy that I will say to one of my kids, okay, but if you take that package of cookies out of the kitchen, just don't leave the wrapper on the couch. And they're like, got it. And 5 minutes later, I walk out and they're gone and the wrapper's on the couch. And I'm like, ah! And you can feel like a monster and a lunatic at the same time. But it is funny how they really are not that functional, these kids.
No, they're not functional in weird ways. All right, let's move on to paradoxes. There's so many paradox-style teen and tween crimes. Gemma's tween has an entire closet of clothes, rejects it all because they have nothing to wear, and then wears the same thing to school multiple days, including sleeping in it, and just rolls through.
I have made my peace after a couple of dark nights of the soul that I don't care if my kids go to school in pajamas. And I mean, I do think it's a big trend right now. And I remember when my kids were even younger, I would just be like, was it pajama day at school? Oh, was it pajama day at school? It's just always pajama day.
Yeah. Like flannel pants.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like with Cookie Monster on them. Like they don't pass for plaid pants. They're pajama bottoms, like big fluffy Cookie Monster pajama bottoms and sometimes tops. I think it's just what they're doing now. And I've decided I'm not fighting it. It's not my fight.
It is definitely noticeable to me, like for the holidays. Like, okay, Christmas Eve, you have to put on something decent for Christmas Eve. Like, that's a challenge. Like, that's a challenge to find something they own that is not pajama pants with Cookie Monster on them. Like, there's a definite casualization of the wardrobe.
We were with in-laws over the holidays and they suggested like, oh, let's go out to so-and-so for dinner, like a fairly nice place. And I said to my kids, okay, great. We're going to go out to a nice early dinner. We were maybe going to go to the movies, whatever our plans were. So just put on something nice. My kids had packed themselves. Blank stares all around Amy. Something nice was a complete... I mean, we had left for Christmas. I don't check my kids' bags anymore. They pack themselves. No one had anything with a collar. I mean, no one had anything that was not fundamentally pajamas.
Fundamentally.
Yeah.
Right.
And they weren't even like, listen, have I ever gone out in like nice pajama pants and like put on a choker and called it a day? I have. But at least have disguisable pajamas.
Right.
I literally cannot take you to this outing in fuzzy, smiley-faced pajamas. It's not going to fly.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Bring something nice. That seemed shocking to them that they would have to bring something that was not ratty pajamas for Christmas. And I do realize like my mother is laughing at me from somewhere because definitely she'd be like, what are you bringing as your hang-up outfit? And I'd be like, whatever, square. I don't hang up my clothes, loser, And
I like that term,
now it's
though.
coming around, a hang-up outfit.
I'm going to start using that. Like, you need 2 hang-up outfits for this, guys. Yeah.
It does feel like the layer is going lower and lower. And then I don't know if you saw that the head of transportation at some point was like, people, we need to be better. We need to stop wearing pajamas
Duffy,
to the airport. And my kids were like, how dare you? They're like not that dialed in politically. And they were like, did you see that guy say we can't wear pajamas to the airport?
They're taking to the streets.
They're taking the streets.
Don't tread on me.
They're ready to join.
Here's a paradox. Megan says the paradox of her teen and tween is that you must respond instantly to each request, especially if delivered via text. And yes, even when they're 20 feet away and they could just walk over to you and talk to you. But the same does not imply when you text your teen. You must have no expectation of response.
100% no. I think with texting, one of the things that we've been working on a bit is texting is not speaking, and you have to speak to me in a specific way. And I think the texting, like, hey, I need a ride in 20 minutes. You're not going anywhere. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I do not respond to the command, hey, I need a ride in 20 minutes. But I think the like casualness of the texting, and I have friends, because I'm an Oldilocks now, who are professors. And they say when they were in school, they'd be like, dear Professor Johnson, I am so sorry. My grandmother's sick. I will have to. And they get emails that are like, or texts on their phone. They're like, hey, I missed class today. Can you send me the notes? And they're like, I mean, in my wildest dreams, I would never do this. But I think the texting of like, here's my demand has spillover that must be controlled at all times.
That's right.
Megan says, which this is my current worst teen crime, that teens either desperately need to take a shower or are coated in Axe body spray / teen girl perfume, and there is no in between.
There's not clean without the Axe over the top.
I would much rather you smell like Olympic athlete who hasn't showered in 7 days after running the marathon than Axe body spray or teen girl perfume. And I have told several of my kids' friends, I'm sure to my kids' heart, because I do a lot of driving. I live in the suburbs. So like I do pickup or I drop people off or I drive to the mall. And I'm like, I will give you a ride, but you cannot wear cologne in my car. It's not allowed because I am very, very smell sensitive.
You're a super sniffer. We've covered this.
I'm a super sniffer. A super sniffer is a gift. It's a superpower. But like all superpowers, it has a downside. It's my kryptonite is Axe body spray and that like really sweet baby powder,
the Brazilian stuff. Yeah.
Girl perfume. It's the middle of winter. I'll have all the windows down. They're like, we're cold. I'm like, I told you not to wear that stuff in my car, boys. I'm sorry. I will literally start vomiting out the side of the car if I have to drive with four. I don't mind even bad natural smells. I'm like, gross, but I can handle it. But I cannot synthetic cologne smell. monstrous. Every time I get in the car with one of my kids and his best friend, I'm like, y'all smell. You're putting on too much cologne.
So my friends,
I'm sure they walk home now to avoid me.
my friend's kid walked into the house, recently with like a pig pen cloud of, male cologne around him. And she was like, whoa, I'm smelling some cologne. Did you put on some cologne? And he said, yes, Mom, I'm going to let you in on something we call the unbeatable strat. And she's like, okay, tell me more. He said, you can, if you're going to go out with your friends, you go to Sephora first and you can just walk in and you can put as much cologne on as you want. You try all the different kinds before you go out. And so she's like, that's the unbeatable strat. He's like, that's the unbeatable
strat took me a minute. It's the unbeatable strategy for living, I guess.
Yeah. But that's the number one strategy. Hit Sephora first and you can try
Don't ask me for a ride, kid. That's my advice. All right. We'll be back with even more teen and tween crimes.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women, tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING.
Is your self-esteem too high?
It's so nice to be at an age where I just finally accept myself for who I am.
Getting to bed too early every night?
I'm in the mood to tuck in at 9:30 and then read for a little while and get 8 blissful hours of sleep.
Do you find yourself burdened by having too much money and food in your life? Try teenagers.
Are you kidding me? There's nothing to eat. I thought you were going to the store.
With teenagers, you'll never have to worry about free evenings again. Instead, you'll be arguing with your offspring about whether or not a bikini top is proper attire for Grandma's 83rd birthday dinner.
It's fine. Why are you so uptight, Mom?
Still not convinced? Well, consider the exercise you'll get pacing the floor while waiting for the kid you used to buckle into his car seat to drive himself home at 1 a.m.
My God, what time is it? Shouldn't he be home? Oh God, it's only 10 p.m. 3 more hours of terrified waiting.
Did someone say self-esteem? With teenagers, you'll be back to levels you haven't seen since walking around the middle school cafeteria looking for a place to sit.
God of War and God of Thunder have nothing to do with each other. How dumb can you be?
Sorry, I was just trying to make conversation.
Well, please stop. It's cringe.
I think I'll go talk to the cat.
Try teenagers.
I need some money. Can you hurry up?
Dana says this is a paradox, too, that the teens have to hoard their own money, but at the same time, the use of your money is free flow and super generous.
Again, I mean, it's all just clear that I'm transferring into my parents at an alarming rate. But my dad, whenever I used to say, do you have any money? He would say, I'm all set, thanks. And I have started saying it to my kids, and it annoys them just as much as it used to annoy me with my dad. Because I'm saying, can I have some money? So I'm like, hey, do you have any money? Yeah, I'm great. I'm all set. Thanks. I don't need any. Thanks for asking. I'm like, no, I mean, I need some. But yes, what's your money and what's our money is, there's a comedian, maybe Chris Rock, who has a joke about this, who's like, the kid's like, we have money. And he's like, no, I have money. You don't have money. And the distinction between money and money gets quite confusing for these youngs.
Hard. And my kids we have this thing called Bank of Mom, which is, I mean, we're talking like First Communion money. Like it's been around forever. And I say, I keep it in the Bank of Mom. And I do. I just keep a little spreadsheet for each of them. And they have money saved in it. And you'll use this someday for your semester abroad, whatever. But it's not tangible, right? So recently, my teenager, her coat was dirty because she didn't let the dog out before bed, and the dog peed on her coat. So the coat needed to be cleaned. Okay, so that's a crime. Maybe that's a dog crime. I don't know. That's somebody's crime.
It's a crime. Two perpetrators.
Yeah. So this teenager borrowed my coat, my winter coat, and I was like, that didn't ask me. I see her wearing it. I'm like, okay, that is an expensive coat. So just letting you know, like, don't lose that coat. That's an expensive coat. I won't. The next week, I noticed that she's leaving for school without a coat on. It's kind of cold. I'm like, put a coat on. It's really cold. I'm fine. Next day, no coat. And I'm like, did you lose my coat? And you just don't want me to notice? Yes, the coat had been lost. But then she was like, get a new, I'm sorry, just get a new one. Just Bank of Mom. But then my spouse and I are both like, but Bank of Mom, just like, no problem. Just hit the magic button.
Time for Bank of You.
Right. So we're like, you have to babysit to make the money back for that coat. Because, when money just feels imaginary, it doesn't work.
No. Well, we once went on vacation. This was our first family vacation. Family friends had a villa. I think it was in Puerto Rico. And we went and we were tweens and teens, I'm sure. Had never been to a place like this. I feel like now this is everywhere. But at the time, I feel like it was very revolutionary. And they gave you a little card or a chip or something. And my dad heard us on day 3 being like, do you know, saying to some other kids, do you know if you have this chip, everything here is free? And he was like, family meeting, emergency alert. And that is the thing. Do you know that with this the Bank of Mom. With this Bank of Mom, everything is free.
Right. You can get out of trouble, get out of jail free.
We have some problems with that. And I think when you have younger kids, I have kids who are pre-babysitting age, they haven't worked. They actually don't have money. They have an allowance of $30 a week, which I guess they could save and kind of do something. But they don't really have so it's a little bit hard to be you have to earn this money by doing what? I tell you to bring logs up, I guess, whatever. But I think it can be complicated, but getting to, I think now with the apps and, other things, it's really smart to get your kids. And we have a couple of episodes about it we can link to. Money smart earlier.
Right. Let's talk about some snack crimes.
Sure. Can I start before snack crimes with dinner crimes or just food crimes?
Sure, anything food related. That's good here.
I'm going to just say that the amount of food my 3 teenagers eat is wild. It is Fred Flintstonian levels. Goldilocks alert.
Back in my day.
I mean, I used to buy I'd like to make a pot roast, but then we have to kind of eat it all week because it's the locusts have come through. A full pot roast, it's gone.
No.
They have 6 servings each.
Right.
It's just wild. And
if you made 2 pot roasts, they just would eat 2. Like, it is locusts.
And I have started making different like breads for the side, just finding like quick bread mix and stuff. I'm not making bread. I'm not a sourdough mom. Don't worry about it. But let me give you a tip. Free tip. They don't advertise with us. King Arthur flatbread mix. I bought it from the store. So good. It makes these like little crunchy flatbreads that you just like a naan. So good.
Wow.
But I'm like, you have to have 4 pieces of flatbread because I cannot afford to feed your mouth with the meat. So like, you got to eat the bread first.
A serving the palm of your hand, right? We're talking like a deck of cards.
A deck of cards is the right amount of meat for you. But yeah, you got to like, and I have a kid who's, he's a real carnivore. And he's like, can I have another piece of steak? I'm like, no, you can have 3 more flatbreads before you have 1 more. Like, we got to use up some of that stomach real estate with cheaper items.
Laura has a very specific teen crime, the late night snack of corn dogs.
I mean, first of all, can I come over? That sounds amazing.
Right. He puts a little mustard, ketchup on the plate, just a small amount. Plate goes to the kitchen counter, left on the counter, and doesn't rinse it off.
This crime I am fighting with all my skills right now.
And then the next morning, it's
so gross.
To the plate.
If you make something sticky, you have to wash it right away. I mean, my kids like the Kraft mac and cheese. And if you let that stuff sit in the bowl, just throw the bowl away. It's basically like an epoxy that ends up in there. It cannot be cleaned. This cannot be fixed. Either you're going to get banned from eating mac and cheese or you're going to figure out how to rinse the bowl yourself.
What about earbuds? Eileen says that her kid constantly has earbuds in when he's in the house, including the bathroom, so that if you're calling him, he can never hear you because he's always listening to something in his AirPods.
Are you people living in my home? This is my nightmare. We have an upstairs, a downstairs, and a basement. I finally installed cheap Amazon speakers in their rooms because I was going to bed with a headache every night from screaming like, dinner! And then sometimes they unplug them because they're tired of listening to me. I'm like, no. The crime of unplugging your speaker is like, you're not going anywhere.
Wait, is this like an intercom that you're like, dinner?
It's an intercom. I'm like, beep, come up for dinner. You can get really cheap ones on Amazon. I'm talking like under $20.
I think you should link to this because that sounds amazing. Because what always would get to me is like, dinner, do you hear me? And then 20 minutes later, they wander downstairs and like, dinner's like halfway over. I heard you yelling, but I didn't know what you were saying. Like, if you hear me yelling and it's 6:15.
Oh my God, Amy, I need to get that tattooed on my face. If you hear me yelling, step out. That's the thing. Like, finally, I'm like, kid number 2. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, no. Not yeah. Like, what do you think? That I'm just screaming your name?
I'm done cooking for you. Right.
Oh my gosh. It is so crazy. We grew up in a house, very, very old house. And it had been built actually in the 18th century, like the main part of it. And then added on basically by every family that lived in it. So it wasn't a huge house, but it had like kind of wings that came off of it. So everybody was very spread out basically. Like people could live in a completely different life in like the part that came off the kitchen. And if I lived off the living room, like you could never hear each other. So my parents put in a phone thing in like the 80s. You could make it a speaker basically. It was a genius thing to do. Because otherwise, my mother would have just spent her whole life like running around the whole house in a circle, screaming. And then, yes, there is, again, I've said this 3 times already, there is no worse crime than after I've screamed at the top of my lungs 18 times. And then someone goes, yeah, from their room.
From where they're lying in their bed, relaxing while you eat dinner.
I'm like, get out here. And then they're like, wow, my mom's a real trip.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Like, you'll
like,
see a real trip.
What are you yelling about? Oh, God, this is true.
Yelling.
Now, I did tell my teenager I was working on this episode, and she, of course, thought it was the other way around, that it was like crimes that parents commit toward their teens.
Oh, okay.
So I did want to give you this one. My parent of teen crime, per my teenager, is that I don't remember the names of the friends and how my daughter knows them. That I will say, I was out with Rachel. I'm like, oh, Rachel, I don't think I've heard about Rachel. You've heard about Rachel. Rachel is, and I know her from the swim meet. I'm like, right. Oh, Rachel. Right. And then a week later, she's like, so Rachel said, I'm like, oh, who's Rachel? And I guess that's my crime. So guilty as charged.
I have to say, though, behind the scenes, if your child's listening, have them turn this podcast off now. That is like the greatest sign about your parenting that it could possibly be. Like, you're just not overinvested in every little thing. Like, it's actually such a win. Right. And she will at some point realize what a win it is, that you're not like, oh my God, Rachel, how's she doing with Ben? How did they get back together? Like, you're living your own life, which is a good thing. Like, if you were able to name them all. I'm trying to think of what my kids would say is my greatest crime against them. Hold on, my kid just walked by. I'm going to call them and see. Hold on. Here are the 2 biggest crimes. Should I go from serious to less serious, or less serious to more serious?
Wow, I don't even know. I'm so curious to hear.
I'm going to go from serious to less serious. The first one, she says, is being dismissive of children's mental health, not taking their mental health seriously enough. She said some parents, I'm hoping she was not talking about me, but she said some parents, I feel like, are very dismissive of their children's feelings when they try to talk about their mental health.
Okay.
And that when it comes to mental health, parents should always take their teenagers seriously. And I'm going to say right now, cosign.
All right. Good advice.
That's the granddaughter of a therapist right there. Now, she said the other big crime that parents commit is, quote unquote, rolling up to school and thinking it's funny when they do things like roll down the window and yell, yo, skibbity toilet whiz.
Right.
That is not funny.
It's not for you to say.
Embarrassing. It's not for you to say. And I believe my daughter at this point would say it's not for anyone to say.
Oh.
But do not roll up and jokingly scream skibbity toilet whiz out of, have you seen the TikTok? I'm going to try to find it and link it, of, it's just a girl, and she literally looks like the melting Wicked Witch. Like, her hands are on her face and she's falling to the ground. And then she gets off the ground and starts running away as fast as she can. And then you pan over and her dad is picking her up dressed as Buddy the Elf. And the physicality, I don't even know if there's any sound, but the physical reaction of this girl is truly like, let the ground swallow me whole, rather than have to admit that Buddy the Elf over there is related to me.
Is somebody that I know.
So the teens do not want you rolling up as Buddy the Elf, and they do not want you screaming out skibbity toilet whiz out.
We're not powerless. This is what I'm learning from these
crimes. We can all learn. Now, I didn't mention that there's still a bunch of McDonald's trash and ornaments to be wrapped to the other room. But maybe if I scream skibbity toilet whiz enough, that will get done.
Start calling their friends and saying it.
I'm going to call one of your friends every 10 minutes and yell skibbity toilet whiz.
My phone is ringing? There's like a call?
It seems to be that mom just yelling skibbity toilet whiz for no discernible reason. Yes, this is a parenting advice podcast, people.
That sounds awesome. Thank you, as always, for listening. Our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/whatfreshhellcast, has about 7,000 members now, I think. And people talk about everything. Funny stuff, serious stuff, everything in between. It is a super kind, useful, fun place to be. So if you're not in it, go check it out.
Absolutely. I love the group. I get so much good advice and information there myself. Definitely check it out. And with that, we will talk to you next time. And good luck surviving those tween and teen crimes.
So long.